me get some water.
You're on camera.
How many do you show there? It says 11 up there. Well, hello everybody all across the country and on the internet. Welcome to St. Paddy's Day Belated, the living room show. We had a snowpocalypse last week, and it's going to have to be loud. We had the snowpocalypse last week, and we thought we lost power a few times, so I'm glad we waited till tonight. So this is a belated St. Paddy's Day. We got some good Irish stuff, some fun stuff. I'm seeing on our screen here, we already got people from Maine. This is really cool for me because the legend, Jerry Williams, is actually watching all the way from Maine, because that's where he lived now, because he got so famous in Ohio where he was living, and up in Michigan where he did his hijinks, that he had to move to Maine just because, well, the paparazzi is terrible. So he moved away in the woods. Nobody knows actually where he is, but he's up there somewhere. So we're going to do his song tonight. And I was going through my stuff. I got some good Irish songs. I got some funny Irish songs, some nice Irish songs. And I figured out that, any drinking song is pretty much an Irish song. So I looked through my drinking songs and all those years playing in Put-in-Bay. By the way, I have my Put-in-Bay sweatshirt on today. We'll be doing some Put-in-Bay songs, including Save the Beer and some other ones. So let's start out with an Irish song. Here we go. And by the way, I've got Guinness back here. I got a Guinness. I'm going to pour in that. And guess what? I've got green Grand Marnier. Can you guys see this? I'm going to hold it up right over here. Nothing like some good green Grand Marnier. So I hope you got a drink, if you're legal. This is one of my favorite Irish songs, and when I was singing in England and Holland and Scotland, they all do this song over there in the pubs, and they rock back and forth, and they raise their glasses and wave in the air. I've been a wild rover for many a year, and I spent all me money on whiskey and beer. Now I'm returning with a golden great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never no more. But I play the wild rover no, never, no more. Now, one of these things about doing these living room shows, and by the way, this is probably the last one we're going to do for a while, so I intend to have a whole bunch of fun tonight. I hope you do too. When you do this in front of a live crowd, especially over in the UK, they do this. They clap their hands. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. So what it is it's 4 claps, 2 claps, and 1 clap. And instead of clapping, I'll do this. Let's do it together. Oh, somebody says, oh, Mike from Rockford. How you doing, buddy? My friend Peg Ripley from Michigan is here. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. I think I heard you out there. Stopped into a nail house I used to frequent, and I told the landlady the money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. For a custom as yours I could give any day, and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. I'm looking at the monitor. I'm going to move a little closer to you guys so I can see it better. I see you out there. Then out of me pocket pulled sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskey and wines of the best, and those words that I said now are only in jest. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. You guys know this is one of the dumbest jokes you're ever going to hear, but it's so dumb I like it. You know what you call an Irishman on your deck? Patio furniture. My wife smiled. She's sitting right here. She smiled. I go home to me parents, confess what I've done, and I'll ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And if they'll caress me as oft times before, then I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. Let's do it a cappella one more time. Clap your hands. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never, no more. And the crowd goes crazy. Okay, we're off and running. I just realized it's been like a whole month since we did one of these. That's the weird thing about these shutdowns. They go like a whole month before I sing for anybody. But I'm glad you guys are out there. And I'm glad things are starting to finally loosen up in the country. I hope that means some live gigs here pretty soon. I already know my summer is locked in tight. I got 10 weeks in the summer in Missouri, Lake of the Ozarks. So I'm going to be doing a few Ozark songs to kind of get in the mood for that. Jokes about everything. Seeing comments come in, so I'll go ahead and we got some more people. Good deal. So we are going to do lots of, let's do one of my own drinking songs. We got plenty of those. I played a lot of places. This is crazy. You're going to be shocked at this, but I played a lot of places where people drank alcohol. I know it's kind of shocking for some of you guys, but this place right here, Put-in Bay, Ohio. I've got some people there that saw me there. I know Jerry Harris up in Maine. He was a regular there. And I'm not surprised because there was some serious drinking going on there. Played the Beer Barrel Saloon, and that's on this little island up in Lake Erie. And about 5 miles off of Sandusky. You take a ferry boat out there, and they come by the thousands. And it's an amazing place. Like on Saturday nights, you're playing for like 3,000 drunk, screaming power boaters, 173 bar taps. And I used to watch them. They'd start going about 6 o'clock, and they would never stop. Those bar taps till close. And I would go downstairs underneath there, and you could see all the kegs lined up. There'd be like stacks of them, like 6, 7, 8 kegs underneath each tap. And they were all kind of hooked in series. And lots of beer. So let's do a little bit of drinking music. This is a true story. This has happened in my life. I write some stuff that's really kind of sentimental and autobiographical. And this is autobiographical. I can't even talk. Autobiographical, but I'm not sure how sentimental it is. I remember my first drink. I remember where it was at. I remember my second drink came 5 minutes after that. Then came a third and my fourth drink, and I was feeling mighty bold. Well, what did I know about drinking? I was 14 years old. Oh, I remember my first drink. Oh, I remember my first drink. Well, it was Saturday night at a friend's house. Her parents were at the show. I took a little bit from each bottle so no one would ever know. You ever do that? I poured myself some vodka and some whiskey and wine and gin. I even threw in a spoon of Nestle's Quick, and I drank it down with a grin. I got to say, I say a lot of things that are BS, but that was absolutely true about the Nestle's Quick. And I got to tell you, it tasted pretty good. Oh, I remember my first drink. Oh, I remember my first drink. Well, and I had my 6th and my 7th drink, and I was turning on the charm. Just about then, a basement step jumped up and hit me in the arm. And then I had my 8th drink, and I didn't want no more. 'Cause right about then, my first drink wound up on the bathroom floor. Oh, I remember my first drink. Oh, I remember my first drink. I've had a lot of close ones, and I've been to the brink. But I do believe I almost died the night I had my first drink. Oh, I remember my first drink. Sing it with me. Oh, I remember my first drink. An absolutely true story. Wine, whiskey, Southern Comfort. I don't know what else was in there. We just filled everything up. So my wife is sitting right over here, my lovely wife, Sally. We celebrated, those of you who don't know me, we celebrated our 45th wedding anniversary last November. And she's pretty much a rock star wife. She really is. She's pretty much a babe. And people say, how did you get a girl like that? I don't know. I think it was a guitar. She's smiling over there. And she is monitoring things. So all during the night, if you got any comments or things you want to hear, we're going to do a little bit of improv again tonight. Where people, Paul Madsen just checked in. He's a guy I know from Chicago. Lots of Chicago people tune into this. Paul is actually a very gifted poet. He does a lot of poems on Facebook, and they're really good. So, Paul, keep writing them out there. And one of these days, I'll put music to one of them, and we'll both get rich. So let me get something to have a little toast. Here we go. Some green Grand Marnier. We'll be breaking out the Guinness here in a little while. Green Grand Marnier. You're only young once, but you could be immature forever. And speaking of poems, I'm going to wait a little, make sure everybody's watching, because today, about an hour and a half ago, I wrote a poem about Mr. Potato Head. So it's going to be brand new and it's going to be really current. So I'll be doing that in just a little while. I think it's brilliant. I mean, I think it's Robert Frost territory. I think maybe Emily Dickinson, except I'm not a chick, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and do Save the Beer, because this is one of the, there's two songs that were, that are the biggest songs I've had as far as downloads. I wrote this one with my former partner, Rusty Lewis. This was a Faust and Lewis song where this was a big hit in Put in Bay. We would do this near the end of our show, and you would hear 3,000 people yelling, "Save the beer!" And the cool thing about this, I've got a recording back here of my friend Rita Kuhn. I haven't seen her name yet. I don't know if she's tuning in tonight or not. But she used to come up on stage with us and do her talking part at the end of the song. And for one of these shows, she sent me a recording of her doing her part. And I've got it here. So towards the end of the song, you're going to hear the voice of Rita Kuhn. Just like in a little while, you're going to hear the voice of Jerry Williams, all the way from Maine. I don't know how he does it. He's like a ventriloquist. And it comes through on the internet, and it's just really cool. He's like a super guy. Get the stone over here. So this is my living room, by the way. You guys have all seen this. No, lots. We did one from my sunroom at Christmas. We've done these from my daughter's living room in Arizona last June when we went down to see our brand new little granddaughter. Actually, that was before that, wasn't it? So the name of this song is Save the Beer. And someday I'm going to sell this song to Old Milwaukee Beer and make like $1 million. Come up with. We've already got a video of this, me and Rusty singing it at the Beer Barrel on YouTube, but it was from the security camera. It's not the greatest. Someday I'm going to make another video of this, and it's going to go viral. So whenever I sing Save the Beer, just yell back at me as loud as you can so I can hear you in Colorado. Save the beer. A battered 40-footer left from Cleveland Friday night, chugging out for Put in Bay where they would spend the night. When the captain stocked the boat up, his intentions had been clear. 450 cases of Old Milwaukee beer. Wow. Did I say 450 cases of Old Milwaukee beer? That's like $12 worth. Before they barely left the flats, the sky was looking bad. When the gale began to blow, the captain told his lads, "Down below I piled and stocked an awful lot of brew. So if we should go down tonight, this is what to do. Save the beer, lads. Save the beer. Save the beer. Whatever you do tonight, just save the beer. Lake Erie's got us in her grip, but Put in Bay is near. We may be going down, but save the beer. Save the beer." The storm, it blew its hardest 3 miles from the docks. They heard a mighty crash below as if they'd hit some rocks. But it was just those cases smashing holes below, letting in Lake Erie as they hurtled to and fro. The captain crawled across the deck and no one knew quite how. He fell into the water as a wave crashed on the bow. The crew was in a quandary when they thought of what he said. They could have saved the captain, but they saved the beer instead. Save the beer, lads. Save the beer. Save the beer. Whatever you do tonight, just save the beer. Lake Erie's got us in her grip, but Put in Bay is near. We may be going down, but save the beer. As the boat was sinking, they found timbers from a pier. They lashed them all together and they loaded on the beer. By then the storm was over that it caused their boat to sink. They may have lost the captain, but they had enough to drink. They drifted for an hour or two when something caught their eye. 4 waitresses from Hooters whose boat had sunk nearby. Their shirts were torn and hanging loose as they bobbed in the swell. Now they had some women and lots of beer as well. Save the beer, lad. Save the beer. Whatever you do tonight, just save the beer. So far it's been a rough night, but I think our dates are here. We're mighty glad we chose to save the beer. waiters, waitresses climbed aboard the craft. The extra weight from silicone began to swamp the raft. The crew began to scramble. They had a choice to make: for bodacious women or beer thrown in the lake. Whew, man, you know, I know what the answer's got to be if you're celebrating St. Paddy's Day. And the name of the song is not Save the Hooters. Never wrote that ending, so get ready for Rita Coon. The women's chests were heaving as they began to cry. They got down on their knees and said,
"We'll do anything for you guys."
yes! Their wet t-shirts were tempting, but still the choice was clear. They said, throw back the waitresses, by God, let's save the beer. Save the beer, lads, save the beer. Whatever you do tonight, just save the beer. They got 100 lovely waitresses on Put in Bay, I hear. So row a little more and save the beer. Whatever you do tonight, just save the beer. By the way, I took my hat off. I'm doing my impression of Terry Bradshaw. I got to tell you, I did something at a school the other day. This is a true story. And one of the other, there was a teacher that came up to me and she said, "I thought you were Terry Bradshaw walking down the hallway." She said, I thought it was you. I said, "Well, it's me, but I'm not actually Terry Bradshaw." Oh, this is cool. One of my hockey players on my picklehead hockey team. We are zeroing in on the playoffs. We got 3 more games to go, and we've been flirting with first place. Now we're back in second. We've been going first place, second place. So we are looking good. But my friend Swave, he's one of our good players, one of our longtime picklehead players. I also have both my sons on the team, Stephen and Paul. So we're hoping we can do it this year. So I've got to do a hockey song for my friend Swave since he's watching out there. Because if I don't, he'll talk to me on our game Tuesday night and say, "Why didn't you sing a hockey song?" I did a whole album with my friend Dave Maney, who's actually a pretty famous guy. He's an economist, goes on Fox News and CNBC and all those things. And he's got a pretty big following. But he was also one of our goalies. And he told me one time, he said, "You know, I come up with funny songs. You want to do a hockey album of funny hockey songs?" And I said, "Sure, come on up." So he came up to my studio and we put these together. This one is actually a favorite of my 7-year-old grandson, likes to sing this one. And this is dedicated to all the wives of us beer league hockey players because it seems like a lot of glamour. We're out there on the ice, you know, the lights are bright and we're bouncing off the walls and we're skating and the snow is kicking up. Hopefully we're scoring goals and we're cheering and stuff. But when we get home, it's a whole nother story. Honey, does my gear all stink? Is that really what you think? I unpacked my bag and you began to gag. Honey, does my gear all stink? Honey, does my big bag smell? Is that why you aren't feeling so well? I unpacked my cup and it made you throw up. Honey, does my big bag smell? You know, I never thought I'd write a song that had the line, "Honey, does my big bag smell?" But, you know, you got to do it. After a game, it's always the same, and I don't think it's really cute. You stop me at my car, say, "Please stay where you are. You're wearing a biohazard suit." Honey, does my gear all stink? Is that why our love life's on the brink? If I let you hose me down, will you stick around? 'Cause maybe then my gear won't stink. Oh, man. Sorry, I know this is St. Paddy's Day and we're supposed to be partying. It's kind of hard to do a sentimental song like that, but you guys go ahead and wipe your eyes. Go ahead. So, my friend, one of my best friends in the whole world just came online, my good friend, Mr. Dave, all the way from Round Lake Beach, Illinois. Boy, that is, you know, I went surfing around Lake Beach. I got to tell you, you know, people think Illinois. Well, there's not really any surfing there. Two times I went surfing in Illinois. The first was Lake Michigan, and there were waves that day that was like 2, 3, 5, 6 inches high. And you want to talk about Lake Michigan? I went to school at Carthage College in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's where I graduated. I have a history degree, which means my career is history. No, whatever. Anyway, so freshman year orientation. We were out there, a bunch of guys, a bunch of girls on the beach. And of course, I'm trying to be a kind of big man on campus. And it's after dark, and we're down there on the beach near the dorms. And there's a full moon. And of course, what do I say? Hey, let's go skinny dipping. Seemed like a real good idea. And well, I got out there. And if you know anything about Lake Michigan, especially in Wisconsin, August, water's still like 51 degrees maybe. And, so we're out there swimming, you know, and we're kind of rough housing, having a great time. I'm swimming. Of course, I'm just new in this college. I'm trying to make a good impression. And there's a full moon, so you can see people when they get out of the water. And I realize what happens to men when the water's really cold. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay, but everybody wanted to go in, and I said, "Listen, I was on the swim team in high school. I'm just going to do some laps. You guys go ahead. I'll come in later." And I almost froze to death before I finally had the guts to get out of the water. So, but that reminds me of this song, and both my friend Dave, who I'm talking about, and my friend Peg have asked for this one already tonight. It's the title song from my first album, way back in 1979. And it was on vinyl. I still have some vinyls. I don't have anything to play it on anymore, but if anybody's got a turntable, wants to send it to me so I can digitize those early recordings. But this was the title song, and I played this about 3 or 4 living room shows ago because they were asking for it, and I thought, you know, I really like this song. Night's a song, a symphony, whistling down through the swaying trees. The night's a song, it's harmony. Star notes whirling round and round. It's up to us to make them sound, or let them down. The dewdrop grass to the highest bough. Can't you hear it? Listen now, listen. The night's a song. Lift your head, the evening's young. There's a song needs to be sung. Lift up your head and come on strung. We'll hit you right on a gypsy note. Race the clouds in a music boat. We'll race the clouds, they're afloat. Dewdrop grass to the highest bough. Can't you hear it? Listen now, listen. The night's a song. By the way, this is a 12-string guitar. Best thing about it's got 2 G strings. And sometimes I'm playing all 12 strings at the same time. Even with only 4 fingers and a thumb on that hand. The night's a song, a symphony. So what do you say? Just you and me. We'll sing the song in harmony. A crowd of crickets sure is fine. They yell for encores all the time. All the time. It sure is fine. The dewdrop grass to the highest bough. Can't you hear it? Listen now, listen. The night's a song. And the dewdrop grass to the highest bough. Can't you hear it? Listen now, listen. The night's a song. My song, first song on the first album that I did. I actually still do quite a few songs from that album, so I had a lot of fun writing that one. We spent, how many hours did we spend in that? So I think about 50 hours in the studio, something like that, because I did all the parts. And actually, we got a drummer, we got some other people coming in. On one of my songs, we had the flugelhorn, which was really cool. I just love that part in that song called "In Your Eyes." So let's move on. Let's do a little Irish music. This is a trashy Irish song. Do we have any trashy people? Trashy? Anybody? Trashy? Over here? Over here? No. People east of the Mississippi tend to be trashier. I don't know why that is. Let's get a little water, a little more green Grand Marnier. I hope you have fun doing these things, because I sure have fun. Coming from my living room. My poor wife's got to sit through 2.5 hours every time we do one of these, but she's there smiling still. So we are going to do the unicorn song tonight, of course, because it's a St. Paddy's Day show. I wish we had the grandkids here tonight. One time we had all the grandkids, all except for the little one down in Arizona. Little brand new one. She's about 8 months old now, just started crawling. So we saw a video this morning. It just made my whole day. Best of all, she had a video of her. They took her to Chipotle for the first time. She loves Mexican food. She's 8 months old. She loves Mexican food. So she's sitting at the table, and she got all over her face. She's just the cutest little thing ever. I'm sorry, I got to brag. I'm a grandpa. We do this. We talk about grandkids, and she's got guacamole on her face. She's got beans on her face. She's got everything from the burrito, and all she keeps going is num 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 num. And there's another video of her that she decided she learned how to do raspberries. And so for like 30 seconds, she's going. So it's just, I just keep watching it. I just keep laughing. So, okay, so here's an Irish song, and it sounds really trashy. You're going to hear this and go, boy, Wayne is pretty much gone over the edge already this early in the night. I know a lot of you guys want me to do that, but this is an Irish song, and it's got an ending you might not expect. There ain't many men that are lucky enough to have one as long as mine. The thing is as old as I am, and still it is doing fine. Many's the time that I've been afraid it was going on the blink. But then upon closer scrutiny, I found it was in the pink. I always treat it carefully, I don't leave it lying about. Whenever I put it away, I still remember to shake it out. If ever I should be too old to put it in the air, I've instructed my wife to handle it with tender love and care. Oh, ain't it a beauty? And I have used it proudly all me life. Everybody sing that part. Oh, ain't it a beauty? And if you don't believe me, ask me wife. Danny O'Toole came calling one day to tell me that he had heard mine was bigger than his was. He didn't believe a word. So I bet him a buck and I took it outside and laid it in the street. He didn't believe it when he saw it was over 100 feet. One summer I happened to be out of work, and during my leisure hours I do a good turn by using it to water the neighbor's flowers. I met a young girl who needed it bad and used it for a week. Those abused for days on end and never began to leak. Oh, ain't it a beauty? And I have used it proudly all me life. Oh, ain't it a beauty? And if you don't believe me, ask me wife. Though I must admit it hasn't been used for 4 or 5 months or more. It's hanging there just as ready as it ever was before. And you can be sure that I will still be using it for years. 'Cause it's the finest length of garden hose they ever sold at Sears. Oh, ain't it a beauty? And I have used it proudly all me life. Oh, ain't it a beauty? And if you don't believe me, ask me wife. Just ask me wife. Just ask me wife. Oh, ain't it a beauty? don't know if you heard that. I had a Grand Marnier burp right in. That's me, wife. That last note, it didn't come out because well, that's what happens when you drink Grand Marnier. Pretty soon we're gonna get the Guinness out. They make Guinness in cans now. It's like, oh, this is like, we're not worthy, you know. Let me get my other guitar out. We got to get Sven going here. I don't know if you noticed, Sven has got his little kind of St. Paddy's Day kind of party. I don't know what these are. They came from the thrift store. But anyways, this is my St. Paddy's Day thing. I was hoping to get today my wife was out. I was hoping to get like a little boutonniere, shamrock, and maybe a little Irish hat. But of course, St. Paddy's Day's over. So this is what we got. But this is it. By the way, people are going, are you Irish? No. My family was Swedish, but I look at it this way. Like I said in my promo for this show, the Vikings from Scandinavia went to Ireland and pillaged and villaged. And so I'm probably related to about half the Irish people out there. So there it is. So we're going to change guitars. Oh, ain't it a beauty? So I'm changing over. I'll tell you another Irish joke. So this guy, he walks into an Irish bar. It's an Irish pub. I think it's in Cleveland or somewhere. They got a lot of Irish bars there. Chicago for sure has a lot of Irish bars. And he walks in, and it's a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, and he asks the bartender to line 3 shots of Irish whiskey up in the bar, like right there, three shots. And he looks up, he goes like this, he drinks the first one. He looks up again, he drinks the second one. He goes like this, drinks the third one, waves to the bartender and leaves. So this happens next week. Same guy comes in, 7 o'clock, Wednesday night, same thing. And he does the same thing. He just drinks the 3 shots and leaves. And this goes on for about 4 or 5 weeks. So finally the bartender comes over and said, look, pal, I make it a point to not really be nosy about any of my customers, but why do you come in here every Wednesday night and you order, sorry, I'm looking at my friend Swave said, nice song, hoser. We call each other hosers on the ice. Anyways, so he said, why do you come here every Wednesday night and order 3 shots and then leave? He goes, it's for me brothers in Ireland. I got 2 brothers in Ireland, and we toast each other same time every week. It's like 2 a.m. there in Ireland, but that's okay. We toast each other. He said, "Oh, that's a beautiful thing." He said, "Yeah, anytime, you just come on in." So this goes on for a couple more weeks, and all of a sudden, the same guy comes in, and he orders 2 shots, and the bartender says, "Uh-oh, something really bad must have happened, poor guy." So he gives him his 2 shots, but the bartender, being a nice, sentimental guy, he comes up and says, "Look, pal, I don't want to intrude on your grief, but I just want to tell you, I'm so sorry that you lost one of your brothers." And he goes, "No, no. I didn't lose none of my brothers. I just ordered 2 shots because I stopped drinking." My wife laughed again. She's just humoring me, but she laughed. Well, speaking of my wife, this is one song, especially for people back in Chicago and a lot of places back east. They always ask for this song at my living room shows, and there was a couple of weeks when I did it and didn't get to this song, and I heard about it. So I'm going to do this for my wife, who's sitting right here, and this is featuring my partner Sven. Those of you who've never seen him before, that's my little Viking. He has been everywhere. You have not lived till you've gone through airport security in London, England with Sven. What is it then? Viking? Viking, that's it. They're x-raying him for heroin and all kinds of stuff. So, but I wrote this song for my wife. This was a song from that first album, and also a later album. I did a newer version of it. So this is for my wife. And this is me, by the way. This is me playing guitar and bass and vocals. So I'm singing with myself. Here we go. I got a woman, some kind of girl. She's there smiling when I'm lost to the world. And she comes running and holds out her hand, and it feels like heaven right where we stand. Someday I'll write a song to dance to, the one to make you clap your hands. Right now I'll write what's on my mind. Here's a pretty song for a pretty lady. She sits me down beside her when my spirits run dry, and chases my problems with a wink of her eye. You know what a comfort to look in those eyes, feel all that music well up inside. Someday I'll write a song to dance to, the one to make you clap your hands. Right now I'll write what's on my mind. Here's a pretty song for a pretty lady. Sometimes it's funny, the moods I get in. Sometimes I lose out before I begin. But let there be bad times, let the world take its toll. She is my living, my heart and my soul. Someday I'll write a song to dance to, the one to make you clap your hands. Right now I'll write what's on my mind. Here's a pretty song for a pretty lady. For this woman sitting in my living room right here, just this beautiful. She doesn't usually come on camera. We might get to see her later. You never know. You got some wine over there? You got some Guinness or anything? Nope, she doesn't have any booze. I'm in trouble. All right, let's do another song that I usually can only do on living room shows, because when I do it live and people are drinking, it goes right over their head. This is the Talk Backwards song, and if you can follow this, you need to have something else to drink. I mean, this is supposed to be a St. Paddy's Day show, so just drink up. Here we go. Oh, somebody said applause. By the way, all the comments are great. You guys just comment whatever you want to do, unless, even if it's you suck, just put them up there. We are going to be doing an improv thing in a little while. If you've never seen one of these, I like to do a deal where everybody sends me subjects and I have to put them all into a song. My record was, I think the one in November, it was the Chicago concert virtual. And we had a whole bunch of people watching, and I think I did, how many did I do that night? I was like 24, I think. Yeah, 24 subjects in one song, and I got them all in. And my ears started to smoke. I think they were bleeding, actually. So see if you can follow this one all the way through. Here we go. Hey everybody, wherever you are, there's a new way of talking and it's gonna go far. Take the letters and the words and you turn them all around. Say the last ones first. Check out the sound, talk backwards. Well, I know what you think, and it sounds kind of strange. You talk forward so long, it's hard to change. Just like metric, once you get the drift, you twist your tongue, give your palate a lift. Take your favorite phrase and you read it in the mirror. Practice that about a half a year. Strut to have knee clap, to cool. You're a regular talking bass act. Words fool, talk backwards. backwards is a new sensation. Talking backwards is sweeping the nation. You'll amaze your friends when you start to rap. Don't say pass the butter, say rat-a-bat-sap. Rat-a-bat-sap, rat-a-bat-sap. If you're out with some girl and she's a little bit shy, don't say I love you, say ooh, evil eye. Ooh, evil eye, and always will. See if that don't take off the chill. Talk backwards. The other day I was walking down the street. There was this girl I said I'd like to meet. I said, excuse me, miss. Emmanuel tossy doing Emmanuel tossy net. And am I getting through to you yet? She said, you're a gent in the first degree. I love it when you talk backwards to me. Talk backwards. Tell one of these nights, those that talk backwards of the man their rights to rise up angry and to get a solution in the form of an amendment to the Constitution. Guarantees freedom of reverse elocution. Every TV show that airs will have to be kept for the forward impaired. Talk backwards. Talk backwards. Talk backwards. We all live in a Woolley and a Rambus. Talk backwards. Leon, 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 Leon. Talk backwards. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. Y-C-K-I-M-E-S-U-O-M. Yes, yuckum. I figured these things out. Driving in my car. What's Mickey Mouse backwards? Yes, yuckum. Talk backwards. Talk backwards. Talk backwards. That was written by Steve Goodman and John Prine. Two guys who I dearly miss. They were a couple of Chicago folkies. They were kind of my idols when I was first starting out. And they still are, actually. Had some great, great songs. Hey, do you guys want to hear the Mr. Potato Head poem? I got to ask you a question. So I need a couple of comments. Say, yes, bring on Potato Head. Okay, just because this could be huge. I'm telling you right now, this could be one of the defining moments of Western civilization. I got to tell you, after the lockdowns and everything, this really, it needs to be heard. That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, so while I'm waiting for comments on bringing on the potato, a year ago is when we all shut everything down. What does it say? Tater, yes, spud me. Oh yeah, okay, good, go. There's another one. Oh, let's just go ahead and do it. That's 3 people already. That's got to be enough. Okay, all right. So you people, you're going to be part of history. I'm just telling you right now. All right, so I wrote this an hour and a half ago. I even typed it up. There's been a lot of weird things going on in the news. I try not to read the news anymore, and it's hard just because I want to look at you can ask my wife. I sit and swear when I'm reading the news these days. So here we go. It's kind of sad. Let's all raise a glass now to Mr. Potato Head. His googly eyes are bugging out and his rusted skin's gone red. He used to be a ladies' man, a hot potato stud, but they took away his tater tots. Now he's a neutral gender spud. I remember playing with that guy when I was just a kid. I stuck on a mustache because that's just what you did. And then a nose and then an ear till he was a work of art. But here in 2021, he lost his best part. So let's all raise a glass now to Mrs. Potato Head. She was always such a sweet potato, especially in bed. But now she's getting baked all day, scalloped, boiled, and fried, because she can't forget that awful day when her love life died. And think of those potato kids. They all have stuck-on frowns. Once they were little new potatoes. Now they're sad hash browns. They no longer have a sister or a brother anymore. Just some neutral fingerlings rolling on the floor. So let's all raise a glass now to Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss and Mark Twain too. It makes my face turn red. All I've got to say today, no ifs, ands, or buts. I think I'll move to Jupiter because this world's going nuts. Okay, so I need some, comments, thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. 3 is not a very big sample, but the rest of you guys, if you want to just comment on if that was a good poem. I might do a video of it because I can think of a lot of funny things I would put on a video. So we'll see. But good old Mr. Potato Head. So let's do kind of an Irish sort of song. We're doing a lot of these. Let's get the Guinness out. Here we go. I would normally be doing my St. Paddy's Day show at Napper Tandy's in Breckenridge. That's where I play every winter until the end of last winter and this winter. So, here goes. I know, we got some Guinness on our rug. Oh, well. My wife's not happy. It was a little too warm. I waited too long. So you pour this in a glass. It's got a little nitrogen thing in there. I'm going to hold. Let's go up here. There we go. All right. This is delicious stuff. I don't know if you can hear me away from the mic, but here it is. Isn't that beautiful? That is just stunning how nice that is. I bet you can taste it right now. Here we go. Which reminds me of another Irish joke. So this Irishman's driving along and he pulls into the mall and, he doesn't walk that great and he just cannot find a parking spot at Walmart. And I said it was at the mall, didn't I? It was at Walmart. So he couldn't find a parking spot. So finally he just closed his eyes. He's a good Catholic. And he said, Lord, if you find me a parking spot, I will stop drinking Guinness for the rest of my life. And then all of a sudden there's a ray of sunshine and it points out this empty parking spot, like right by the door. And he looks up and he goes, never mind, I found one. Pretty good. That's a good one. Yeah. So this isn't specifically an Irish song, but it sure sounds like one. And we used to always do this one at Put-in Bay, Ohio. And we'd get half of the room over here to go, yah-ha-ha, and the other half to go, yo-ho-ho. And this is, look at this. I'm the poet laureate of Evergreen. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Oh, my friend Linda says, great poem. Oh, I'm feeling so good. Howard Nieback, my friend from Seattle. Hi, Wayne and Sally. He didn't say anything about the poem, but he said hi anyway. I might have to do that poem again just because I really want to get the most coverage for that thing. But this is some drinking music, and it's got a real Irish folk feel to it. We'll get these fingers going. Here we go. Well, what should we do with a drunken sailor? What should we do with a drunken sailor? What should we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, hi-ho, and up she rises, hi-ho, up she rises, hi-ho, up she rises early in the morning. Put him in the brig until he's sober, put him in the brig until he's sober, put him in the brig until he's sober early in the morning. Hi-ho, and up she rises, hi-ho, up she rises, hi-ho, up she rises early in the morning. Like I said, what we would usually do is half the room. We say, early in the morning, half the room goes, yah-ha-ha. And then the other half goes, yo-ho-ho. Do it just right, it feels like we're in a Disney movie. So if you're on the west of the Mississippi, yah-ha-ha. If you're east of the Mississippi, yo-ho-ho. Hi-ho, she rises, hi-ho, she rises, hi-ho, she rises early in the morning. Yah-ha-ha, yo-ho-ho. Shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, early in the morning. Hi-ho, she rises, hi-ho, up she rises, hi-ho, up she rises early in the morning. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Early in the morning. Hi ho, up she rises. Hi ho, up she rises. Hi ho, up she rises. Early in the morning. Yeah. Well, what should we do with a drunken sailor? What should we do with a drunken sailor? What should we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Hi ho, and up she rises. Hi ho, up she rises. Hi ho, up she rises early in the morning. All right, let's play a little banjo. You guys up for some banjo? I don't see my friend Kathy from Kentucky tonight. Usually she's out there clogging. So Kathy, if you're out there, let me know, and I will do a couple of your songs that you clog to. Hi ho, when up she rises. I can tell you a Catholic joke. A lot of Irish people are Catholics. Do you know how many Catholics it takes to screw in a light bulb? 10, 1 to screw it in, 9 to feel guilty about the old bulb. I like to tell religious jokes too. Do you know how many Lutherans, or why Lutherans never have orgies? Because then they'd have to send out too many thank you notes. And here's my all-time favorite religious joke. What do you get when you cross a Jehovah's Witness with a Unitarian? Somebody who knocks on your door and doesn't really know why. Those are the kind you got to kind of fill them in with your brain. Hi ho, and up she rises. Hi ho. Where is? Oh yes, I know what I'm looking for. This. Sorry, I used to always plug in, but now I got these wireless things. Isn't this cool? Little wireless doohickey. Okay, so this guy's sitting at a bar, and he's Irish. He's got a leprechaun next to him, and there's an Englishman on the other end of the bar, and he sees this leprechaun, and he just calls over. He goes, "That is the ugliest little guy I ever saw in my whole life." And the leprechaun just gets up off his stool, runs over, and goes like that. Gives him a big raspberry, and he goes and sits back down. And the Irish says, who cares? They're the Englishmen. And so he gets another beer. The leprechaun gets another beer. The Irishman gets another beer. And all of a sudden, the Englishman speaks up again. He goes, "Hey, I told you that is like the ugliest ever little guy. I mean, look at his face. It's all cracked, and he's got like a red beard, and half of it's fallen out. He's just really ugly." And once again, the leprechaun goes, "Oh, jeez." And he walks over there, and he goes right in his face. And so finally, after another 20 minutes or so, the Englishman calls over one more time. He goes, "You know, I bet you he is so little. I bet you he's got like the smallest willy. I bet you he's got a really tiny little willy because he's such a little guy." And the Irishman goes, "Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but leprechauns don't have willies." I said, "They don't have willies?" I said, "How do they pee?" And he goes, "They go like this." Yes. So, here we go. Got my wife to laugh again. That's good. She hasn't heard these. All right, let's get this thing going. This is featuring my partner, Sven. We're going to play some banjo, another instrument with 2 G strings right here. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. Which one should we do tonight? This one's called Cripple Creek. This is a Colorado song. I've been a proud resident of Colorado now for over 30 years. 35 years, actually, this year. I was just skiing last week with a couple of my grandkids and my son in Keystone. Had a blast. We got great snow out here this year, especially after this last snowmageddon. Considering I used to ski at Wilmot Mountain right near Chicago, right across the border there into Wisconsin. 200 vertical feet, and they advertise that on billboards. So what's cool is they've got an app now when you go skiing at Keystone. It's called Epic, if you got a pass, and it keeps track of your vertical. And so me and the kids did 12,000 vertical feet about a week ago, so that was pretty cool. You're going down, you just go down, and you just keep on going and going. Your ears start popping. It's great. All right, so this one's called Cripple Creek, featuring my partner Sven on the guitar. I got a gal at the head of the creek. I go to see about middle of the week. Kids in the mountains, sweet as wine. Nuts up around like sweet good wine. Going up the creek, going on run. Going up the creek, have a little fun. Going up the creek, going in the world. Going up the creek, see my girl. Oh, we got somebody from Wakanda, Illinois today. Hi, guys. Girls in the creek about half grown. Jump on a boy like a dog on a bone. Roll my bitches up to my knees. I'll wait the creek when I please. Going up the creek, going on run. Going up the creek, have a little fun. Going up the creek, going in the world. Going up the creek, see my girl. Somebody say yeehaw. I wake up before I sleep. Roads are in the hillsides, buddy. I'm so drunk that I ain't steady. Going up the creek, going on run. Going up the creek, have a little fun. Going up the creek, going in the world. Going up the creek, see my girl. Going up the creek, going on run. Going up the creek, have a little fun. Going up the creek, going in the world. Going up the creek, see my girl. All right, let's go ahead and do dueling banjos. This is the one everybody asks for all the time. So we got people from all over the place kind of checking in. That's pretty cool. Pretty soon we're going to do that improv. We're doing a couple nice things tonight, too. We always like to do those. Try to do something for Norwood Park, where I grew up. That's back in Chicago. What's crazy about this green Grand Marnier, because it's usually orange, so I'm not sure. I put green in there, and it got green. I thought it was going to make it some really like terrible color, but it's green. The weird thing is it tastes exactly the same. I mean, if you close your eyes, you think, oh, that's Grand Marnier. I saw where they dyed the Chicago River green again this year. First time in a while. That was pretty cool. All right, so this is Dueling Banjos. My partner Sven's over here. I'm going to come closer to you guys so you can see the fingers, hopefully. And here he goes. Sven. You betcha. And the crowd goes crazy. All right. It is time for another Irish song. We got a lot of these lined up. We got more drinking songs here, too. Let me take a look. We've got, oh, geez, we got all kinds of drinking songs I haven't done yet. So we got to do a couple put in bass songs. We got, Jerry Williams songs got to be coming up, too. So we're going to do lots of these. So I don't normally make lists, but, you know, when you're doing a living room show, especially a St. Paddy's Day, want to make sure you get to them all. What's really nice about doing this show, compared to some of the St. Paddy's Day shows I've done, is I'm not seeing anybody throwing up. So that's kind of nice. If you guys are throwing up, don't send videos. Okay, just don't. If I had done it last Thursday was St. Paddy's Day? No, it was Wednesday. Yeah. If I had done the show on Wednesday, that might happen. So this one's called Tell Me Ma. And I don't think I've done this for any of you guys. And Sven will help me out with this one. And we got some banjo. Tell me, Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Tell me, Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. I pull my hair and stole my comb, that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me now who is she? Robert Mooney said he loves her, all the boys are fighting for her. Rap at the door and a ring at the bell, saying, oh my true love, are you well? Out she comes, white as snow, rings on her fingers, bells on her toes. Oh, Jenny Marie said she'll die, don't get the fella with the roving eye. Tell me, Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair and stole my comb, that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me now who is she? Tumbling from the sky, she's as sweet as apple pie. She'll get her own lad by and by. When she gets the lad of her own, won't tell her Ma when she gets home. Let them all come as they will. Albert Looney she loves still. Tell me, Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair and stole my comb, that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me now who is she? Tell me, Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair and stole my comb, that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me now who is she? I like that one. I actually had a penny whistle I used to play on that one, but it's been a long time. See if I got another Irish joke for you. What is the difference between an Irish wedding and an Irish funeral? One less drunk guy. Sorry. Why is all the Irish jokes about drinking? I still don't know why. I got a Scottish song. Could do that. That'll be coming up. But one night, one night back in Missouri, a couple of summers ago. I was playing, and it was the end of the night. We did the last hour, and people are all sitting around. I did like an extra hour just because everybody's hanging out and playing Stump the Band. We're doing all these different songs. And somebody asked for a Piano Man by Billy Joel, which I did on the guitar. Not a big deal. I sang it. We were all singing, "Sing us a song, you're the piano man." But then after the show, somebody came up and said, "Wayne, you should do that song on the banjo and change the words a little bit and have everybody go, 'Sing us a song, you're the banjo man.'" And I thought that sounded really weird, but then when I got home from my trip, I went in my little studio and recorded a guitar part and a bass. And it turns out I've been doing that ever since. So this is a great barroom song since we're doing St. Paddy's Day kind of feel here. This would be a good one to do tonight. So rock back and forth. If you got a drink, just wave it back and forth, and we will do Banjo Man. And you can sing the Banjo Man chorus. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. A regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, "Son, can you play me a memory?" Not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet. I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. You know this part. La da da dee dee da. La da da dee dee da da da. Sing us a song, you're the banjo man. Sing us a song tonight. For we're all in the mood for a melody. We got us feeling alright. Now John at the bar is a friend of mine. He gives me my drinks for free. He's quick with a joke. He'll light up your smoke someplace that he'd rather be. Said, "Wayne, I believe this is killing me." The smile ran away from his face. And I'm sure that I could be a movie star. I could get out of this place. Oh, la da da dee dee da. La da da dee dee da da dum. Paul is a real estate novelist. Never had time for a wife. He's talking to Davy, who's still in the Navy. Probably will be for life. Practicing politics. The businessman slowly gets down. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness. It's better than drinking alone. Sing with me. La da da dee dee da. La da dee dee da da da. Sing us a song, you're the banjo man. Sing us a song, you're the banjo man. Sing us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for a melody. We got us feeling alright. New last verse here. It's a pretty good crowd for a Saturday. And my wife, she gives me a smile. 'Cause she knows that it's me they've been coming to see. From all across all those miles. It just sounds like a carnival. The microphone smells like a beer. They sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, "Man, what are you doing here?" Oh, la da da dee dee da. La da da dee dee da da da. Here we go, one more time. Sing us a song, you're the banjo man. Sing us a song tonight. For we're all in the mood for a melody. You got us feeling alright. You you got us feeling alright. Oh, it's the Banjo Man song. I could hear you singing out there. I knew you were doing it. Okay. I'm going to get my other guitar. We're going to do the improv here pretty quick. Oh, my friend Dave Carabota from Niles, Illinois just signed in. He's one of my favorite conservatives. He sends a lot of cool stuff in email. Dave, I watch all your stuff, so keep sending it to me. I am from Illinois, born and raised in Illinois. I always like to tell people around the country, Illinois people know this, it's the only state where the former governors make the license plates. And the state motto of Illinois is, please don't pronounce the S. By the way, I haven't done many of my state jokes. I have jokes for every state. Last year, and I'll just run through a few of these while I'm changing over. Last year in Texas, more people were killed by handguns than automobile accidents, so they raised the speed limit. It's one you got to think about. Sometimes people don't get that all the time. My friend Jerry, a different one, not Jerry Williams, but Jerry. He's an Ohio State graduate, and he's a veterinarian, so he knows that I'm actually talking about him. How many Ohio State football players does it take to screw in a light bulb? Only one, but he gets 3 hours of credit for it. There was a plane crash in Louisiana. 3 people on the plane, Jimmy Swaggart, Edward Edwards, and David Duke. Guess who got saved? The state of Louisiana. And in Louisiana, when you go to the zoo, you can tell it's different than every other zoo. Like most zoos, they got the animal in the cage, and they got the little plaque with the name of the animal. But in Louisiana, they got another plaque with a recipe. That's kind of nice. You know, we've been talking about Jerry Williams here, and I'm just going to go ahead and... Actually, before I do that, I'm going to do one other nice thing. Since my friend Dave Carabota just tuned in, I know he really likes this one, and I always like to do this for people back in Chicago. I grew up in a little neighborhood called Norwood Park, and it's the far northwest side of Chicago. It's where all the cops and the firemen live, because they have a rule that you have to live in the city, so they go to the far edge. It's right near Park Ridge and Niles. It's about Harlem and Devon. I graduated from Taft High School. I had the great honor of doing this little piece here on my induction a year ago, October. They inducted me into the Hall of Fame for my high school, which was really cool. So I did this one, and I think this piece here is one of the reasons I got to do that. But I remember when I was a kid, if you guys... anybody who grew up in the Midwest, probably most other places, if you're in your advanced geezerhood like I am, you used to be able to burn leaves in the fall. The leaves would all come down. We had all these elms and maples and oaks and just all the great, just lots and lots of leaves. And of course, in the fall, usually around October, everybody would pile up their leaves on the curb at night, you know, and we'd get home from school, and then it would get dark, and we'd all go out and we'd burn the leaves. Get little weenie roasts and marshmallows and stuff. The whole neighborhood, all down the block, you'd see all these bonfires. And so one time, not too many years ago, I was driving across Kansas, which takes the best years of your life. On I-70, if you're in western Kansas and you drive off the road, it doesn't matter. Just keep going. But anyhow, there was a farmer that was burning leaves. And it was like in the summer, so it wasn't fall. But I got that smell of those burning leaves, and all of a sudden I was just transported back. You know how a smell will do that to you. And it took me back to Norwood Park. And so that night in the motel, I wrote this little poem, and then I put some music to it, and it was on an album. And then I did a video that's done real nice for me. I mean, it's like 17,000 views, which is, you know, only 1% of the farting frog, but you know, that's okay. I got a lot of nice comments from people. I even got a comment from somebody, a 20-year-old from Arizona, that said, that so reminded me when I was a kid. So I guess there's something I connected here. So here's a Norwood Park song. Even after all these years, my memory still tastes sweet. We had a canopy of elm trees over our heads. It sheltered our little street. We played hide and seek at dusk. We climbed lamppost after dark. Summer lasted longer then. back in Norwood Park. It was always in September when we went back to school. We burned our leaves down by the curb when the nights got cool. How I loved to smell that autumn smoke as it drifted through the dark from 100 bonfires back in Norwood Park. And when the first snow came and blew it off the lake, I pressed my nose against the window pane and I counted every flake. Now if winter seemed too cold, with landscapes bleak and stark, my memories shine like Christmas lights back in Norwood Park. When April winds blew warmer and the snow all melted away, we had a park just down the block and baseball games to play. For a red-haired boy in the springtime, seems like all the world's a lark. I played catch with my big brother back in Norwood Park. But changes happen much too quickly. At least that's how it seems. So I left my neighborhood behind to go and chase my dreams. I've traveled half a world away, and I hope I've left my mark. But still I travel in my mind back to Norwood Park. And all of those I left behind, those that went away. My grandmas and my grandpas, I still see them there today. They're standing on the sidewalk where the nights are no longer dark, with my mother and my brother back in Norwood Park. So I'm grateful for all those memories, for the sights and the sounds and the smells, and all the seasons of my childhood and the friends I knew so well. I think each of us has a place to go when our eyes start growing dark. For me, that place will always be back in Norwood Park. A little bit different than the My First Drink song, but it's autobiographical. Here's a little Guinness for those of you out there celebrating St. Paddy's Day. Here you go. It's a few days late, but happy St. Paddy's Day, everybody. It's the one time of the year when everybody's Irish and just about everybody drinks. Here's to you. Yeah, so good. Out of a can, little nitrogen thing. All right, now my friend Dave Carabota, I was just talking about, he said he loves the bling. This was actually, well, it's as close as I get to Irish, on a short notice, because it's green. That's all I can say. I was hoping there would be little shamrocks, but it's green. I'm wearing a green sweatshirt. But when he said bling, it made me think of another poem I wrote, which unfortunately turned into a rap song, okay? How many people out there hate rap music? Okay, yeah, there's lots and lots of people. Okay, but I hate rap music too because, let's face it, I'm Swedish, and it's hard to do rap music when you're Swedish. It's like, Horska viska jumpa dordna hiska dini bu. It doesn't have the sound. But so move this out of your way. So my wife needs to sneak out for a minute. I had to move my guitar out of the way. So now I wrote this little poem, and then I put some music to it. So since I got the bling, I'll do the hat. Here we go. Now okay, don't text and say, oh no, that's 90s rap. I do this, I go, oh no, that's 80s rap. Oh no, who knows what it's supposed to be. So I'm just gonna do it like this. And I've got these sunglasses. Here we go. This was a big song up in Michigan, up in northern Michigan, a place called Clyde's Place, where I first met Jerry Williams. And I always played up there for the first weekend of hunting season. So here we go. I was sitting in my dorm on a Saturday night when I decided to head out for a beer and a bite. I was going to the bar and the roads were slick. My little Jimmy pickup was moving real quick. I was tooling down the road, sliding around. There was something in the road. I tried to slow it down. I hit the brakes. I tried to steer, but I ran smack dab into a really dumb deer. Well, he flew over the windshield like a flying old buck, landed in the back of my pickup truck. figured he was dead, just a hunk of fresh meat. He jumped out of the back and through the passenger seat. I was amazed he was really alive. Then he motioned to me he wanted to drive. He tried to work the clutch, but it wouldn't go in gear. Like I said, it's a really dumb deer. Well, we got to the bar and he followed me in just as the band was ready to begin. He pranced to the stage and he grabbed the guitar. He was strumming and strutting all over that bar. People were amazed, all except me. Couldn't they tell he was in the wrong key? Then he ordered wine when all they had was beer. Because like I said, it's really dumb deer. Well, we drank it till 1, then we hopped into my truck, went to the dorm, just me and that buck. He slept on the floor, I fed him some grass. When Monday came, he followed me to class. Typed on my computer with a shiny black nose, wrote a little poetry, he wrote a little prose. His grammar was sloppy, his points weren't clear. Like I said, really dumb deer. Well, he got really famous all over that school. Even the jocks thought that he was really cool. The babes all liked him and they hung around a lot. I couldn't begin to tell you how jealous I got, but I let him hang around for only one reason. I knew that pretty soon it would be hunting season. Now you can see his head hanging right up here, because like I said, it's a really dumb deer. I'm waiting for the thunderous applause or the overwhelming boos. So that's my rap song. So now, I have been threatening the Jerry Williams song all night long. I know he's tuning in tonight. He actually lives in Maine now. I've got his picture. He sent me his picture. Didn't autograph it. I'm going to have to get this. But this is Jerry Williams. He's a handsome fellow. And this was based on a real experience that I had. And it's kind of sentimental, so you guys might want to get some tissue out. Because I kind of found out one of the great meanings of life with this song right here. In a little bar in Michigan, south of Mackinac, I stumbled in out of the cold and I ordered me a draw. All those weary miles were showing on my face as I warmed my hands and I looked around that rustic little place. Over in the corner, a man sat in a chair. People gathered round him. He was preaching over there. I asked the barmaid who he was, and then I saw her smile. She said, "That's Jerry Williams. Just listen for a while." And he said, sounded like that to me. Made me scratch my head. Jerry Williams said. Well, is this some kind of joke, I asked, because I don't think I heard. People sat there mesmerized. I couldn't understand a word. Then the barmaid brought to me another glass of brew. She said, "If you just keep drinking, he'll start making sense to you." Then he said, sounded like that to me. Made me scratch my head. Jerry Williams said. Well, I've been all around the country in my spunky little car. I ain't seen nothing like that night in that funky little bar. Well, I must have drank a case of Pabst till I was feeling good. Suddenly his words were clear. At last I understood. Socrates and Plato had nothing on that guy. I can't tell you exactly what he said, but maybe I can try. He said, Husker.
Hey, Joe, where are you, Joe?
He was getting through to me. Words rang in my head. Oh, yeah. Jerry Williams said. Oh, Jerry, just say it some more. Just say it.
Wash your hands.
Wash my hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got that one. Are you hearing this?
Hey.
Brilliant. Oh, really?
Jeez. Credit.
Quit it. Okay, there he is, the great Jerry Williams. I'm so glad he sent a comment. I'm so glad he's tuning in. And he says, Jerry, just like Grand Marnier, is getting better with age. I think he is. He's going in the Hall of Fame, whichever Hall of Fame it is. The Drinking Hall of Fame. He'll get Kennedy Center honors. Do all kinds of things. Who knows? Okay, so we're going to open this up. This is where I risk my entire career. I started doing this years ago. As far as I know, I'm the only guy doing this. I'm going to make up a song. My wife's getting ready. Make up a song based on whatever subjects you send me. Maybe you can, kind of weight them towards drinking and St. Patrick's Day and Irish people or whatever. It doesn't have to be any kind of subject. The goofier, the better. And the more interrelated, the better. And I have to do a song and find a way to tie them all together. So I'm going to do another song while you guys are starting to send those. Please do it, just because then I know we're all together, working together on this. And then I really get to work my brain. Whoa, sorry. Knocked over my wife's water bottle. It's just water, though. All right, when you do living room shows, you got stuff hanging around. Sometimes you knock things over. Let me get my list here. Do another drinking song, maybe. We'll see. Let's see which one I want to do here. Oh, I know what I need to do. This is a Put in Bay song. I've got a Put in Bay shirt on. This is all about the island of Put in Bay. For anybody who saw me up there back when I was with Faust and Lewis and then by myself for a couple of years. There's an island called Manhattan where skyscrapers are stacked. We bought it from the Indians. They can have it back. There's an island on the west coast, and it's called Alcatraz. An old prison and a bunch of rocks is all that island has. But up here in Ohio, we got one thing to say. Screw them other islands, 'cause we got Put in Bay. Little island on a great big lake. We're chugging 6-packs, that's a piece of cake. Call the brewery, send more trucks here. No other island can drink more beer. Puerto Rico is an island, and it's a commonwealth. Mold and rot and jungle snakes, they ain't good for your health. Australia is an island, it's a huge one, I suppose. That's where they sent the convicts when Alcatraz was closed. But up here on Lake Erie, folks will shake your hand. They'll stand up for each other when they still can stand. And drop my pick, little island on a great big lake. We're chugging 12-packs, that's a piece of cake. Call the breweries, send more trucks here. No other island can drink more beer. All right, I did research. I am a history guy. I told you I have a history degree. And this is a little bit of fun facts. Well, about 100 years ago, Lake Erie all ran dry. Scientists from around the world gathered to find out why. They walked on out to put in bait to figure what went wrong. But someone ordered up some beers. They started singing songs. After 40 days of drinking and an endless stream of pee, the lake began to fill back up, and the rest is history. Little island on a great big lake, we're chugging cases, that's a piece of cake. Call the brewery, send more trucks here. No other island can drink more beer. One more time. Little island on a great big lake, chugging cases, that's a piece of cake. Call the breweries, send more trucks here. No other island can drink more beer. 'Cause Put in Bay is drinking all the beer. Did we only get 5? Is that what we got? Oh, we got some more. Okay, good. There's some that aren't coming up in my screen. Yeah, some of them aren't all coming up here. Okay, cool. That's why I got my lovely wife right here. Okay, the Blarney Stone, blizzards, sunburn, speeding tickets, leprechauns, gold. Leprechauns like it. And Messiah Lutheran Church. Great. Got some people that went to Messiah Lutheran Church with us back when we lived in Island Lake, Illinois. Any last minute ones, I'm going to sip a little Guinness, and any last minute ones, send them in. Just throw them in there, and I will try to make up a song. Here we go. All right. Here we go. I'm going to actually work in that joke that I told about the Willie. We just had a blizzard and it got real chilly. Just like that leprechaun, man, it shrunk my willy, shrunk my willy. It shrunk my willy. Now I'm not a studly leprechaun, 'cause I ain't got no willy. After I lost my willy, I went home alone. And then I started rubbing on the Blarney Stone with my willy. With my willy. You know that Blarney Stone feels pretty good on your willy. And I drove off the road, I drove into a thicket. Then this cop gave me a speeding ticket. And I told him, hey officer, come on, I got a gold, 'cause I'm a leprechaun. But I went to jail, they left me in the lurch. I was bailed out by Messiah Lutheran Church. In Illinois, Messiah Lutheran Church in Wakanda. All your offerings to Messiah got me out of jail from that church. But I still got some gold, and I'm gonna give it all to that church. Maybe I will grow another willy, 'cause I go to church. Here we go. One of the most ridiculous ones. That was easy. I only had, like 7. Remember the other time we were talking about that, we had 25. All right, so it's time to do the unicorn song. This is still a St. Paddy's. We're going to do some nice Irish songs, too. We got a couple of them. There's some really pretty ones. A lot of poems. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. A couple things I forgot to mention. We got my little sign here, by the way, and I really have to tell you guys, these living room shows have really been it's been a godsend for me during all these shutdowns. It was a year ago right now when we all shut everything down, and I started doing these Friday night shows. It was and we're doing Saturdays now, but these were Fridays, and it was where I had no idea how to do anything. I went and got myself a nice camera after the first week, and then, just figuring out all the technical details. We had the issues with Facebook, so that was kind of interesting, but we've just been doing it all along. But pretty much every time I've done these, people send in some tips, and when you're not doing any gigs, I did all my summer gigs, which was great. Kept me going pretty much for the whole year, but things are shut down. There's a lot of musicians that are really hurting out there, so you guys really helped me out. So thank you so much. If anybody was so inclined, all you got to do is go to PayPal, picklehead@picklehead.com, or if somebody's not comfortable with that, just send me an email at picklehead@picklehead.com. Say you need an address or something, however you want to do it. We can do Venmo or whatever. So that's appreciated if anybody wants to do that. Otherwise, just have fun out there, because that's what we're doing here. And one time, about 3 or 4 shows ago, we had all the kids, all the grandkids coming up doing the Unicorn song with me. So you guys, most of you probably have seen my show and know how to do this. I'll go over the little signs for this. Another cool little thing. I don't know if you guys know this. I played in Key West for probably almost 20 years, Sloppy Joe's. And a guy who lived down there was Shel Silverstein, who wrote this song. He was one of the most talented guys I had ever heard of. He did funny music. He wrote Cover the Rolling Stone. He wrote some of the old folk songs. He had some just great stuff. And but he also writes kids books, where he really made the most money. He has a book called Where the Sidewalks Ends. The Attic is Up, or something like that. And I still see those when I go into schools. Shel Silverstein was amazing. And he used to walk by at Sloppy Joe's. He was, he had a shaved head, and he was always really tan. He's from Chicago. He talked kind of like this, had this gravelly voice. And he would look in, because at Sloppy Joe's, you'd be up in that big stage, and you could see people walking by, and they'd stop, kind of lean, look in. Sometimes they'd come in. But I remember seeing him standing out there one time, and he told me much later, he goes, "Yeah, you guys were doing that Unicorn thing, and I was getting really pissed off because I thought you were kind of messing with my song. And then I realized, I looked around, and everybody's doing this thing in the audience, and I realized that they were having fun with my song, and that's what it's all about." And so then he invited me over to his house, and I spent an afternoon in Shel Silverstein's backyard, and it was just amazing. I played him some of my songs. He was going to get them to a few people, and he came out with this like notebook stuffed with just drawing, because he did drawings as well. He had drawings and just songs that he hadn't heard. He was doing a Broadway play that he was trying to get together, and he worked a lot with Pat Daly up in Puddin' Bay, so I'd see him up there again too. But that afternoon in his backyard, he was just an amazing guy, and he helped all the local musicians. He gave us all kinds of advice and different things. So he's just a wonderful man. He died of a heart attack now. I guess it must be 10 years ago or more now. But he lives on in all his work and stuff. We all hope that people like all of us who write things, they hope our stuff will outlive us. And that's always going to be the case for Shel. So this is the Unicorn song. There's a little choreography if you guys want to do it. Stand up, or you're sitting there, whatever. Here we go. Well, a long time ago, when the earth was green, there's more kind of animals than you've ever seen. They ran around free while the earth was being born. The loveliest of all was the unicorn. Okay, here's what we do. There were green alligators and long-necked geese, humpy-backed camels and chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Green alligators. You can do little alligators, you can do big alligators, dyslexic alligators, green alligators, long-necked geese. If anybody's Italian, I know it's St. Paddy's Day, but if you're Italian, you can go like that. I'm speaking to you, Dave. Humpy-backed camels and chimpanzees. Cats and rats and elephants. All you guys out there, make a really big trunk. Sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was unicorn with the pirouette. So I'm counting on you guys to do that out there. I'll be picturing you. Now God saw some sinning. It caused him pain. He said, "Stand back, I'm gonna make it rain." He said, "Brother Noah, I'll tell you what to do. build me a floating zoo and get you some of them green alligators and long neck geese, humpy-back camels and chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants, for sure as you're born. Don't you forget my unicorn. Noah was there, and he answered the call. He finished up the ark just as the rain started falling. He marched in the animals 2 by 2. He called out as they went through. Hey Lord, I got your green alligators and long neck geese, humpy-back camels and chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants. But Lord, I'm so forlorn, we just can't see no unicorn. Well, the unicorns looked up from the rocks and they cried. And the ark started moving and drifting with the tide. And the water came up and sort of floated them all away. And that's why you never seen a unicorn to this very day. But you'll see green alligators and long neck geese, humpy-back camels and chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants, for sure as you're born. You're never gonna see no unicorn. Now, if you guys are doing this out there, you'll be happy to know this song comes in different speeds. Those of you remember records, that was 45 RPMs. Here comes 78 RPMs. Here we go. There were
green alligators and long neck geese, humpy-back camels and chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants, for sure as you're born. You're never gonna see no unicorn.
Piece of cake. 90 RPMs. Here we go. 90 RPMs. There were. Okay, now that was a little fast for some of you. So let's do 16 RPMs to review. You'll see green alligators and long neck geese, humpty-back camels and chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants. Excuse me. Sure as you're born, you're never gonna see no unicorn. Okay, we're gonna get fast now. We're gonna do 160 RPMs. Don't hurt yourself. Here we go, 160. There were. Piece of cake. Okay, here's a big one. 200 RPMs. Do not try this. There were. Yeah, there we go. One more time, regular speed. Here we go. There were green alligators and long neck geese, humpy-back camels and chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants, for sure as you're born, you're never gonna see no unicorn. There we go. It's the unicorn song done by the Irish Rovers. Got to do that one on the St. Paddy's Day show, even if it's just me up here. Couple of traditional Irish songs. Have some Guinness, Wayne. By the way, I'm supposed to say hi to Diane. She's with Dave. Dave Carabout. Remember I told you? Dave is just like me. He just married way up right there. Oh, it says Sven is very talented. I know. By the way, my whole career has been on this guy's coattails right here. I would be nothing without that little Viking guy. My wild Irish rose, sweetest flower that grows, sweetest flower that grows. You can search everywhere, but none can compare with my wild Irish rose, my wild Irish rose, my wild Irish rose, dearest flower that grows, dearest flower that grows. Someday for my sake, she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose. I love these 3/4 time songs because you do this. And you do them in bars late at night on St. Paddy's Day. Everybody stands up and goes back and forth just like I do with the Circle B Unbroken thing. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, you can hear the angels sing. When Irish eyes are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure it'll steal your heart away. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it'll steal your heart away. You know, those kind of songs make me think of my mom. We weren't Irish, we were Swedish. We are Swedish, but she told me when she played accordion. She played accordion and piano and organ, but she would play her accordion. And she told me that she would go to the, they would have like the lodge or the Swedish club, the old Swedes in Chicago. And of course they'd get drunk as skunks, but she talked about, my mom was tall and thin, and she was actually skinny when she was 12. And I picture her as a 12-year-old girl standing in front of these hardcore old Swedes drinking. And there was a song, I don't know this one, unfortunately. It's like Hemma Demma Demma or something. Those Swedish words get pretty hard. And she told the story about standing in front of these old Swedes playing this song, and it was all about little bird fly home, and they were missing their homeland, and they say, little bird fly home and tell everybody back home that I'm okay. And she would play that, and they would just weep. They would just weep into their beers. And now when I play, I just people cry when I sing, but usually because I'm off key. But anyways, I just think of my mom a lot of times when I do these kind of things. So, somebody said, my son Eric is also married way up. Amanda is here. Is she out there, Amanda? Oh, from Wheaton, Illinois. Hi, guys. We're all watching on the huge, what does that say? The huge what? Huge telly. You guys must be from England. The huge telly. That was good. Television. Now I'm used to that in England. That's what they call it, the telly. Well, welcome, you guys. Good to see you. Thanks. Nice to have the family here. But of course, the great Irish song that everybody loves to hear and to do and to sing along with is Danny Boy. And I have to tell you, this is like the Star Spangled Banner. Danny Boy is one of those songs. If you pick even a half key too low, it's too low. And if you pick a half key too high, it's too high. So today I was making sure this is in D flat, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. So I'm going to go ahead and do Danny Boy for you guys tonight. Oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. nights I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when he comes and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, as dead I well may be, he'll come and find the place where I am lying. He'll kneel and say an Ave there for me, and I shall hear the soft dew tread above me, and all my grief will warmer, sweeter be. And you shall kneel and tell me that you love me. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. That is one of the sweetest melodies, I think, out there on any, especially any folk song. It's a pretty one. All right. Now, I did say I was going to try to do most of the drinking songs that I've written or that I know. This is one. Okay. This is one I don't even know what key I did. This was on a very early album called Bald Guys and Beer, but it's a drinking song. Okay, it's a 3/4 time song. It sounds Irish. And see if this happened to anybody out here that's been to bars. My feet are crooked, oh, what can I do? I had me some whiskey, I had quite a few. I went toward the jukebox to play me a song, but I couldn't get there, my feet were all wrong. My feet are sideways and I don't know what for. I'll have one more whiskey, then head for the door. 1 foot points east and the other points west, so I'll try to keep moving and hope for the best. Well, my feet are backwards, oh, it's getting worse. Should I go forward or stay in reverse? 1 foot points south and the other points north, so we stand in one place and we back and forth. My feet are gone now and they can't be found. I crawl to my bar stool and sit me back down. I'll stay here and hold on till I'm back on track. If I wait long enough, my feet just might come back. Your feet are crooked and you end up like me. You can't even walk to the bathroom to pee. Just squeeze your knees tightly like I'm doing here, and we'll both switch over from whiskey to beer. That's it right there. My feet are crooked. All right, now, for those of you who turned in late, I said I was going to do this again. I wrote a poem about Mr. Potato Head. I did this about 20 minutes in. By the way, I have been going for 2 hours. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. That shows that bald guys can last a really long time. But anyhow, we always do this. So we're on the home stretch here, but I got to do my Mr. Potato Head poem, and I'm soliciting comments on this. Okay, so far we only got 3 comments, and they were all yes, they were all thumbs ups. I think this could be one of the great works of Western civilization. Definitely need some more Guinness for this one. Here we go. Let's all raise a glass now to Mr. Potato Head. His googly eyes are bugging out. His russet skin's gone red. He used to be a ladies' man, a hot potato stud. But they took away his tater tots. Now he's a neutral gendered spud. I remember playing with that guy when I was just a kid. I stuck on a mustache, because that's just what you did. And then a nose, and then an ear, till he was a work of art. But here in 2021, he lost his vital part. So let's all raise a glass now to Mrs. Potato Head. She was always such a sweet potato, especially in bed. But now she's getting baked all day, scalloped, boiled, and fried. She can't forget that awful day when her love life died. And think of those potato kids. They all have stuck-on frowns. Once they were new potatoes, now they're sad hash browns. They no longer have a sister or a brother anymore, just some neutral fingerlings rolling on the floor. So let's all raise a glass now to Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss and Mark Twain too. It makes my face turn red. All I've got to say today, no ifs or ands or buts. I think I'll move to Jupiter because this world is going nuts. Thank you. Thank you. I'm thinking my friend Dave Carabota, who is conservative, is going to like that one. Okay. All right. So let's see. We got time for a few more here. Let's look and see. And let's look at my drinking song list here and make sure we got all the ones that I said I was going to do. Get the 12 string out again pretty quick. No, we don't need that one. We don't need that one. Okay. If you have any last minute requests, please. Up. Great. What does that say? Great. What? I haven't done Plastic Jesus for 30 years, so I don't care if it rains nor freezes as long as I got my Plastic Jesus riding on the dashboard of my car. That's all I remember that one. Sorry, I just haven't done that one for a long time. I bet you that's from Wakanda, Illinois. Going 90, it ain't scary as long as I got the Virgin Mary riding on the dashboard of my car. Plastic Jesus, riding on the dashboard of my car. There's the end of it is something, thumping. I don't hide the bottle, so don't ask. Plastic Jesus shelters me because his head comes off. You see, he's hollow, and I use him for my flask. There we go. Okay, that's as much as I remember that one for whoever asked for that. Anything else come in over there? Amanda is holding up her Mr. Potato Head. I wish we had video for that, Zoom video or something. I would love to see that because I might go out and buy another one. If they, you know what, those original Mr. Potato Heads, since they're not going to have them, those are going to be on eBay for like $500. So I actually going to probably do a video with that little poem here, probably this coming week if I get a chance to do it. So, all right, let's get the 12 string out. And then we'll get this one back. You know what? Let's do a little more banjo before we go. I think we haven't done enough banjo because you can never have enough banjo. Hope you guys are doing okay out there. If you're getting tired and dropping off, well, that's okay because we're almost wrapping it up here. I'm going to tempt fate because one of my most popular banjo songs is the Banjo Went Down to Georgia, which is The Devil Went Down to Georgia on the banjo. Came up with this because, you know, in some of the big places I played some pretty big places. Whenever I get the banjo out, somebody come running up. You could just see them coming from way in the back. They're staggering. They've been drinking. And they go, hey, can you play Devil Went Down to Georgia on that thing? And I say, yeah, sure, if I had a fiddle. Thanks for asking. So one night at 2 o'clock in the morning, I came home and I wrote the world's first banjo version of Devil Went Down to Georgia. Now, here's why I'm tempting fate. Because the only time we ever had the feed cut out in the middle of the show was in the Valentine show. And it was only about an hour and a half in, and I was doing this song. So I was getting ready to do this song, whatever it was. So Sven's going to play the guitar. And he's going to play the drums on this one. What am I talking about? He's going to play the drums. Devil Went Down to Georgia on the banjo. Let's make some noise. Somebody say, yee-haw! Here we go. Devil went down to Georgia. He was looking to try again, because the last time through he lost a bet to a fiddle playing man. Well, this time he found Johnny picking a banjo, playing it hot. Devil will jump on a hickory stump and said, "Bo, let me tell you what. Hey, I've lost it fiddling. I'm a banjo player too. And if you care to take a dare, I'll make another bet with you. Now you play pretty good banjo, boy, but give the devil his due. Bet a banjo of gold against your soul, 'cause I think I'm better than you." Boy said, "My name's Johnny. We'll try this all again. I'll take your bet. You're gonna regret, 'cause I'm the best it's ever been." Johnny sharpen up those picks and play that banjo hard. Those vocals from Georgia and the devil gives the parts. If you win, you get the shiny banjo made of gold. If you lose, the devil gets your soul. Devil opened up his case and said, "I'll start this trick." Fire flew from his fingers as he waved them finger picks. He waved those picks across the strings and it made an evil hiss. And a band of demons joined right in, and it sounded something like this. Go, Sven. It's his favorite part right there. When the devil finished, Johnny said, "Well, that's pretty good, old son. Sit down in that chair right there. Let me show you how it's done." Played Fire in the Mountain, Run, Boys, Run. Lives in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Ready you dog by no child, no. Here we go. Well, the devil bowed his head because again he had been beat. He laid that golden banjo on the ground at Johnny's feet. Johnny said, "I told you twice I'm the best it's ever been. Come back with a 12 string and I'll kick your butt again." Fire in the mountain, run, boys, run. Live in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. You dog by no child, no. Everybody say yeehaw. That's Sven. He carries the show, doesn't he, that guy playing those drums? All right, one more banjo song. This one's called Rocky Top. We get a lot of requests for this, and then we'll do just a couple little things as closers right here. Everybody knows how to clog out there. This one's for you. Well, I wish that I was on a rocky top down in the Tennessee hills. There ain't no smoky smoke on the rocky top, you know the telephone bill. Once I had a girl on the rocky top, and there the other half cat. Why, that's how make sweet as soda pop, I can still dream about that. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Corn won't grow at all on the Rocky Top, so it's too rocky by far. That's why all the folks on the Rocky Top drink their corn from jars. Once two strangers climbed on the Rocky Top, searching for a moonshine still. Strangers never did come down again, I reckon they never will. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Let's pick it down. Well, I've had years of cramped up city life, stuck like a duck in a pen. All I can say is it's a pretty life, can't be simpler. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Some banjo picking. Hope you like that song. I wrote that in 1875. All right, so we're going to do just a couple of more. Let me get my guitar back out. I just want to say a big thank you, especially you guys tonight, because most of you guys just have been turning into almost every one of these. So it just means a whole lot to me. Now we're into spring and it's staying light later. People are getting out again. Thank God for that. But you guys made my night by being here tonight. This is probably the last one we're going to do for a while. So we'll have to do some nice closing stuff here. And it didn't make the feed go out when they sang Rocky Top, so that's good. Or Devil Went Down to Georgia. So one more time, if anybody wants to send something on PayPal, it's picklehead@picklehead.com. But I'm going to do one. I did this one for the Valentine show, but I think might have been, I'm not sure if it was before or after the feed went last show. I didn't know the feed was out for a while until everybody started to send me emails and texts and like, how come you're not on anymore? So we got it going again, but then it was a different link and nobody knew how to find it. So we get to go to the end tonight. So I want to do this one for my wife. I didn't write this one for her. I wish I did, but it's an old Simon Garfunkel song. And you know, when I played a lot of Irish pubs and stuff in the early days on Lincoln Avenue, a place called John Barleycorn Pub, and out on Lincoln and on Rush Street. And a place called the Barbarossa. I used to play there till 4 o'clock in the morning. I play from 9 to 4 o'clock in the morning for $15. But it was a really cool place to play. They had like a little lighted stage, and you'd sit on a stool, and people were all around you. And they came there to listen, but they had a rule that if there was nobody there at 3 o'clock, you could go home in the morning. Inevitably, the bar next door would let out at 2 to 3, and it'd fill up. Oh, I'm going to do another set. I definitely paid my dues, but you know, this has kind of got a little bit of an Irish feel to it, and it's one of the prettiest songs I know, an old Paul Simon song. I cut my teeth on this stuff when I first started out. And my vivid memory with this song is when we came home from our honeymoon. We went to the Poconos, and we didn't have the heart-shaped tub, but we had a bathtub in our little chalet that could have fit the Green Bay Packers and us. But I used to have these tapes. I have mix now on my phone and iPods and all that stuff, but I used to have cassette tapes, and I had a mood mix, you know, I called it the mood mix, and I had all these pretty songs. And we walked into our apartment in Des Plaines and home for the honeymoon, and I knew I was going to be spending a life with this woman, and I just was so happy about that. And then this song came on, and we started just kind of hugging and rocking back together, and she started crying, and I said, are you sad? How come you're crying? And she said, just because I'm so happy. And so whenever I do this song or hear this song, I think of that. So this is for her. I hear the drizzle of the rain, like a memory it falls, soft and warm, continuing, tapping on my roof and walls. And from the shelter of my mind, through the window of my eyes, I gaze beyond the rain-drenched streets to Sally, where my heart lies. My mind's distracted and diffused. My thoughts are many miles away. They lie with you when you're asleep and kiss you when you start your day. And the song I was writing is left undone. I don't know why I spend my time writing songs I can't believe, with words that tear and strain to rhyme. And so you see, I have come to doubt all that I once held is true. I stand alone without beliefs. The only truth I know is you. And as I watch the drops of rain weave their weary paths, and I know that I am like the rain. There before the grace of you go I. That's a nice one. My wife's clapping. All right, well, listen, we're going to do one more for you. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I have a special thanks. I hope she's watching tonight. Lady from my church, a good friend. I played for her husband's memorial service a whole year ago already. I can't believe it. But Sandra Inman actually drove over to the house and dropped off a bottle of Grand Marnier. So I would have enough for tonight. I dyed some of it green, but there's still more in there. So maybe my wife and I'll have some of that later sitting by the fire. So thanks, Sandra. And here's to everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day, especially you Irish people. It's like your national holiday. And thank you to Guinness for having really good stuff and putting it in a can with nitrogen so you can actually drink it just like in a bar. All right, so this is an old time song. I always do this at the end of the night at the Bucksnort. By the way, I hope to see some of you guys. Like I said, this is probably the last living room show for a while unless things get real wonky again. But I start my summer on May 31st. Lake of the Ozarks. I'll be there again. If you guys want to have a fun road trip, it's really a great place to go. I will be doing 50 shows at least this summer. Usually I pick up a couple of private ones too. I'll be there most of the summer down there at the lake. And normally I do 6 weeks. This last summer I did 8 weeks, best summer of my life, because the whole country knew that the Ozarks was open. They all showed up. And Blake Shelton and his wife showed up. All kinds of people showed up down there. So hopefully this summer will be even better. Not everybody's getting out. Now that everybody's getting out again. So come see me there. I'm hoping to get back to the Bucksnort Saloon. I think they're going to be opening again soon out here in Colorado. I play there once a month. It's a 100-year-old place. I've been playing there for 30 years. And hopefully some of these other things that I usually do this time of year will come back, or at least by the fall. So watch my schedule at waynefaust.com. And come and see me if you can. I would love to see some of you guys in person. And when you do come, make sure you come up and go, hey, we watched you on the living room show and you sucked. No, I hope you don't say that. But yeah, just come on up and say hi. Oh, my wife is saying hi to everybody. online. So this is Will the Circle Be Unbroken medley. I've been doing this for a long, long time. We always close the show at the Bucksnort with this one, and everybody gets up that little funky mountain bar and makes a big circle. And it's just an amazing thing every night when we do that. But the really cool thing I get to do here is first I'm going to play guitar without using my hands. And then, since it's St. Paddy's Day, I am going to finish my Guinness, sing and drink at the same time. Here we go. Here's a guitar with no hands, like I've done a couple times tonight. Sing and drink at the same time. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a bitter hum awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I was standing by my window on one cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a bitter hum awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Well, I will walk close beside her, try to hold her hand, be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Sing with me. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a bitter hum awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Well, I looked over Jordan, what did I see? You sing it. Coming for to carry me home. Was a band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. And when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, how I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in, and when the sun refused to shine, oh, when the sun refused to shine, how I want to be in that number. When the sun refused to do the echo part, and when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, how I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Okay, watch this. Swing low, go marching in, chariot. Oh, when the saints go to carry me home, how I want to be in sweet chariot, 'cause I am schizophrenic. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a bitter hum awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. Thank you for coming to my house. And God bless you guys. Have a great spring. Today is the first day of spring, I think, today or tomorrow. And one more thing. God bless Mr. Potato Head. We'll see you later.